hey.
The Smurfs 2 is an officially licensed spin-off from Sony Pictures Animation's hit series, The Smurfs, which is spun off from the 80s TV series, which is spun off by the 60s movie, which is spun off by the 50s Belgian comic. But is this worth your time?
This game plays with your emotions from the very start. The first thing you see is a pixelated Ubisoft logo, and you expect the worst. But very soon after that, you see the Way Forward logo, and it gives you a glimmer of hope. But don't hold on to that too much. It's Smurfette's birthday, and the Smurfs decide to make her a cake when Gargamel attacks and steals her away to farm her Smurf essence. Gargamel then uses his magic to control the animals to attack the Smurfs in order to stop them from rescuing Smurfette. Or something like that, I lost interest in the cutscenes. The Smurfs 2 is a side-scrolling platformer that plays very similar to a standard classic Sonic the Hedgehog game, if slowed down by quite a lot. You can choose to play as 9 characters, with 5 unlockable after each core boss battle, each with their own abilities. The 4 you start out with are Papa Smurf, Clumsy, Grouchy, and Vanity. Picking a Smurf at the start of the level will lock you into playing as that Smurf for the entire stage. The Smurfs don't have a standard health bar, so as long as you hold at least 1 Smurf berry, you can take a hit, as Sonic is to rings. Once you are hit, your Smurf will drop all of their Smurf berries, and in case of falling into a pit, float up in a bubble, allowing you to guide them safely before freeing them. You will only get a game over and be booted to the start of the level if you get hit or fall into a pit while holding no Smurf berries. There are 6 worlds in the Smurfs 2, each with 5 stages and a boss battle. The first world is Enchanted Forest, a lush green world which has a cursed frog that shoots dirty bubbles and whips its tongue at you. Defeating the cursed frog will give you a present that will unlock Brainy. The second world is Spooky Woods and holds Azrael as its boss. After avoiding the skull-dropping, claw-pouncing feline, you'll unlock Gutsy. World 3 is New York, with the Naughties,
Effectively, Nega Smurfs, I don't know.
as the dual bosses. In this fight, Vexy will throw a barrage of candy about, and Haxus will charge at you. Defeating them will unlock Jokey. World 4 is Arctic Tundra, with a cursed polar bear as the boss. A quick victory will unlock Hefty. World 5 is Lava Jungle, with a cursed parrot as the final standard boss, which falls into flames and is reborn as a phoenix. Defeating the phoenix will break Gargamel's spell, and crush all the blue cursed blocks in previous levels, making it easy to collect any Smurf tokens you were locked out from earlier. The 6th and final world is Paris, with Big Bad Gargamel as the boss. Defeating Gargamel in the easy, non-climactic final bout will unlock Smurfette, the final unlockable character, and Smurf Change Mode. Now that we've gone over the worlds and bosses, let's take a closer look at each of the Smurfs and see what their abilities bring to the table. Papa Smurf throws a potion that freezes enemies in place, allowing him to easily run up and jump on them. Clumsy tumbles over enemies in pits, eliminating the need for timing jumps in certain circumstances, though I found myself rolling over a pit and then falling into another without a chance to save myself. Grouchy has a ground pound move that stops you in place and harshly dropping you down to attack the enemy below. It's not the most fluid to use, but it does destroy the situational grey blocks. Vanity, easily the worst of the bunch, creates an immobilizing force field, freezing enemies in place within a certain distance. I found this move quite finicky, and since the distance was so short, I couldn't get any use out of it. Brainy can do a double jump, which stops all momentum and awkwardly lunges him right up. This one could help, but only in certain situations. Gutsy dashes forwards with his fists, decimating enemies and breaking grey blocks. Jokey throws bouncing presents that instantly kills any enemy that it comes in contact with. Hefty throws a barbell that acts like a boomerang and is easily the best Smurf to use in the game. Adding to this, he can also break the grey blocks. And the final of the main cast, Smurfette hovers, then slowly floats down, making her the best to use for tricky platforming sections if you feel like ignoring the challenge. Clockwork is the final and pseudo-10th playable character. He's exclusive to the Wii U touchpad and doesn't really seem to do anything that actually helps. Luckily, as mentioned before, after you complete the main story mode, you unlock Smurf Change Mode, which allows you to freely swap between any Smurf inside the levels, granting you access to the exclusive Smurf ability coins. This, however, is if you think a second playthrough is worth 100%ing the game. On top of the standard levels and hidden Smurf coins, you have 3 challenge missions in each level. I find most of the challenge missions a bit pointless. Things like use only X Smurf or kill all the enemies can be fun, but missions like use only Papa and Brainy Smurf for the whole level and complete this level with 2 players really stops the momentum and fun for me, especially when I'm by myself playing in single player mode. After my initial playthrough, I gave up on trying to complete the challenge missions and hunting for the extra coins.
The Smurfs 2 isn't a terrible game. Sure, the level design is a little bit bland and the music is only okay, and it is quite easy, other than the cheap deaths. But if you do have kids or a younger gamer and you wanted to play it with them with up to 5 players, this might be the game for you.